Hello guys, we seem to be live. In a minute, David should be able to jump on. We've just tested this to see, and in this, we're just going to kind of keep it nice and relaxed, nice and basic. So we'll post this out. I'm just going to take a few seconds, get David on, and then post this out in my Facebook group as well, and then we will get this live going. Hi Steve, hi Matt, welcome to the Facebook Live. So let me just grab this link and put it in my Facebook group. David should be on any second at all. Barry, Jordan, hi Jordan. You probably won't find this interesting. Jordan's a real life friend. Just doing a quick interview. Hey guys, so just waiting for Ian Wicks is in. Welcome to the live. Best UK window cleaner is here. Just ridiculous. We're going to keep this nice and short and brief. Just wanted to provide some value and stuff. So today we're going to be interviewing David Fearon, who's got a new product coming out in like 26 hours or so. Hello Andy, hello Matt. And so I wanted to bring him in an interview, kind of show you some, behind the scenes stuff, get a lowdown on the product before it launches. We've also put some bonuses and stuff together, but this isn't a pitch fest. The whole point of this video is to kind of see what's going on, meet the guy behind the product if you like. And there we go, he wants to be in the video. Let's add him in now. It's a pretty able to bring him on. And then this, if you guys have any questions as well as this goes along, obviously leave them in the comments below. I'll try and go through them. Hi David, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, mate. How are you?
Fantastic, fantastic. I'm glad we got this working. I was a little bit worried. I sent him a message about half an hour before and said, how do you actually do this? I'm not technical at all, so I'm glad it's working. I'm glad it's working. Lots of viewers on today, which is good. This is my first joint Facebook Live. Have you done joint Facebook Live before?
I've not, mate. It's always been Skype.
Oh, always Skype. Always
been Skype. I've never done the joint one, so
okay.
First time for both of us, isn't it?
Okay. Andy Bogglehurst is setting the mood for the video already. He's put, David, can you show us a nipple? Lovely. Okay, right. Should we get this started then? Yeah.
Hey, Andy.
Okay, perfect. So, tell us a bit about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? And why Facebook groups?
Name's David Fearon. I reside in Australia at the moment. I'm mostly English. Been out here 8 years now. Quick breakdown. Left England in the middle of winter. Came to Australia with a backpack and worked my ass off to stay here. Got the ability to stay here. During those years of brutal, hard work to get the permanent residency, it was to enable to stay here for the rest of my life. During those last couple of years, something really started to niggle at me. I was doing 90, sometimes over 100-hour weeks at a law firm, and it just it was killing me, absolutely killing me. So moving on to the Facebook groups, my whole what's the word? I wanted something that was incredibly easy to do and incredibly simple to set up, and something that would actually, be fun to do as well. I think that's what has kept me going with them for so long now as well, is that I actually really enjoy what I do, and the niches that I'm in are real sort of interest to me, and that I could spend days talking about them, and so I think that's why it's kept me so jived up, let's say, about groups. I'm really passionate about them, and I think with the groups, it's a zero barrier entry, and I think if you look at most courses that you see out there, there's always a hidden cost, or there's always hey, you've got to go and buy XYZ product to actually get going with this. And I think for most people starting out, especially if you're a complete newbie, it's so what's the word? It's so it's frustrating, I think, because a lot of the messages I got, after I did Instant Social Profits 1 were, I loved it because I could just start. There was nothing hidden, nothing, just nothing other than just clicking create, and that was it. And it's down to your personality, it's down to your get up and go, and it's down to your interest then to move ahead of it. And groups are something which I've seen some terrible examples, and I've seen some amazing examples where, especially after the first launch, where if you just create a group called Fluffy Kitty Cats and expect people to join it, it's not going to work. You've got to think, these can become real assets to you. I get offers for my groups almost weekly now, like a 30,000 member one especially. There's a lot of interest in that. A lot of people want to take it off my hands, which is nice, but I'm not. There's no way I'm going to let it go. But yeah, that zero barrier entry thing is, I think, really, really important, because if you're absolutely broke, you've got nothing, there's nothing to stop you setting up a Facebook group in and just talking about it. And then just every interaction you have with someone, just dropping you, hey, come and join my Facebook group. Tell your mates about it, tell your family about it. And very, very quickly you can start a snowball effect of, I know free traffic gets a little bit of a bad name for itself, but if you get it right, that snowball effect is incredibly quick and incredibly powerful. And then once Facebook starts picking up as well, starts helping you build your groups, because obviously Facebook wants more information about you, so they can sell that. So you can create groups to your heart's content. And so yeah, that zero barrier entry was really, really cool for me. That's what inspired, I think, the first Instant Social Profits. Was like, what is the easiest way I know? What is the simplest thing you can do online to make money? Because my head was so blown from my job. I was so stressed. I just wanted something I could just set up like that and almost just do on autopilot. And the great thing about what I do, you get to a position where you get a few thousand members in your group, or up to 30,000, whatever. You can sort of take a step back because people want to start helping you, start taking over your roles and positions. So that's a really nice effect of like where I'm at the moment. So yeah,
it's a funny thing. It's a funny thing. Once the group grows so big, there's people who actively want to work for you for free, and they want to be a moderator,
exactly.
And they want to, get rid of the spam and just have that tag in your group that they are, whoever.
It's cool, but it's like human need. It's like human need for power.
Yeah.
And just having that little badge, like you said, that little badge next to your name, and just being able to like kick someone out of the group like that.
Yeah.
You have to keep an eye on people, but yeah, it is good. It is good when people actively want to help you make money. In the new course, I talk about that a lot. The power of community. Community is so important, but just getting people to do all the work for you is very cool as well. So
yeah. So this one's you had Instant Social Profits #1. When was that launched?
A year to the day, pretty much.
Okay.
And that, it was 31st of October last year. That got deal of the day, and I think we just broke a 5-figure launch on that. So feedback was amazing. Absolutely, it blew me away really. Because I was thinking when I put it out, I always have that paranoia. Is this good enough? Are people going to take this seriously? And because it's just something I did every day. It's something I still do every day. And I was like, I think that comes through in the new one, especially where it's just experience talking, like all the pitfalls and all the problems that I've run into, even down to like just dealing with personal attacks online. So you put yourself in a position where you put yourself out there, you become the leader, like a community leader sort of thing. Someone breaks your rules in your group, multiple times, you kick them out, you're a target immediately. Your name is mud.
Of course.
So it's just dealing with things like that. And I try and be as honest and as upfront about if you are going to open yourself up and run these groups, this is what you're going to run into. And I think that will come across in the training. Like just pure experience is going to come across and help people out if they choose to jump on board and try it out.
What's the
But there's no reason why. I mean, most people spend hours every day on social media, so why not use that time building your own little empire and making money doing something you love. So the focus is going out in here.
I completely agree.
The lighting in here is all.
Yeah, that's all right. I agree completely. I think one of the things you touched on before was that like Facebook wants to get the information, wants to put you into groups and whatever else, and helps that out. And I think compared to a few years back, it used to always be pages that were pushed.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I
100%,
think
yeah.
it is
Yeah.
definitely groups.
Yeah.
I've just done some
Yeah.
recent training about the discover new groups, and they always have the suggested in the right hand sidebar as well. All your friends are
Yes.
part of this group and
Yes.
stuff like that. So it's actively
Yeah.
supporting to help,
Yeah.
people like us grow our Facebook groups,
Exactly.
get new
Exactly.
members in
I
them.
think towards the end of last year, after the first one came out, it was groups were sort of obviously people are in multiple groups, but it was just sort of like a side thought. That's the impression I had of Facebook. They weren't that interested. Like you said, especially the first few months of this year, a hell of a lot changed, a hell of a lot, and that was one of the reasons why I thought, would I feel comfortable selling someone Instant Social Profits one?
Yeah.
Like a year later when so much has changed. And if you've been in my sort of Fearsome Digital group, I've been dropping all the little bits here and there of like, the things that I've come across, what's changed and how Facebook is, actively helping people now. One of the things that you could just put a post in your group and, bump it up and down with, put your post in, delete your post, you bump to the top of the group. And then Facebook introduced the most recent and then the most active. So that was a massive, massive hit on our group. So I was like, obviously Facebook want you to drive engagement. That is their whole, remit, pretty much just drive engagement all the time. So just having a post and putting putting an original post up, then just commenting now and again wasn't enough anymore. You had to get more people involved, get it shared. Then the emoticons, etc., and a lot changed, and it was a big hit because our sort of membership leveled out, and then I sort of saw our revenue start dropping, and it's all because the engagement wasn't there. So I was like, okay, how do we get this engagement back up? And it's like when you put a video on YouTube, you get all those dig, Twitter, all the icons along the bottom. YouTube is essentially telling you, hey, you want to rank your video, drop it into all these, and you're good to go. And it's similar with Facebook now. They've given you all the tools, and you just got to use all the tools that are available to you. Stories, live, got to drive engagement. And every single hack that I know has like gone into this of just getting people to like your posts above all others. Because again, once you get to that, about that 30,000 members level, where I've seen groups of 90,000 members just close down overnight, where the owner is just not heard anymore. I can't get my voice, loud enough in the group, and it's just getting drowned out straight away. It was like, I wish they'd spoken to me about that because I would have been able to help them. But in the group of 30,000 that I've got, it's just, you've just got to use the tools that are available to you. And as the admin owner of these groups, you have tools available to you which can let you shout louder than everyone else in the group. And you've just got to use them, like, the events, your header space, absolutely everything. You just got to make sure that you are the boss. You're the one that's going to get paid at the end of the day. And I've tried, I think, quite well to say that's how you do it in these groups in the training. So
yeah, I
love them. I could talk about them for days. But yeah, the key word, if anyone takes anything away from this today, it'll be keyword is community. 100% community. It's like you put yourself out there as like the leader. You've already elevated yourself anyway because you're the admin owner of the group. You could create a group in quantum physics, and most people would like join the group thinking, hey, this guy knows something about quantum physics because you're the admin owner. So, but yeah, it's that sort of natural human need to want to follow something as well and be part of something, and it's just tapping into all those like human emotions and just making sure that you're a good leader. And I think once you get that, it's like if you're the only carpenter in a community, in a town, people are going to come back to you every single time to have some woodwork done. So whichever niche you go into with this, if you make sure you're the only go-to guy, then you're going to get paid over and over again, which is great. But it's just being a good leader, being a good community leader, and you'll have seen it yourself. And look at some of the groups out there which are growing at the moment, like Gareth Dane's group. What is it? I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Sorry.
Niche authority.
Sorry, Gareth. He's doing lives daily. He's invited guest people in. He's giving, and like. His membership just went through the roof like within like a couple of weeks of joining it. Great example right there. And me and you've talked a few times about some of the other group examples where, you know, your imagination is like, it's the sky's the limit, really. Where we were talking about Liverpool Football Club supporters group, where
We were, yeah.
I'm originally from Liverpool in my team, and there's one out here in Australia where, you know, it's not, I don't even think it's an official one, but, you know, they've got their own T-shirts, they've got their own mugs, they organise trips, and they organise nights out, and it's all just, you know, one or two people running this group as the owner admin. They're just, you know, pulling it in. Another example I use a few times in the training, and I mentioned it the first time in training because the guy is killing it, is the Nike running shoes one, where I think he's about 24,000 members now, and he has post approval on, which is incredibly powerful as well. If you do it the way he's doing it, where he buys and sells collectible Nike shoes. There was a story in the paper the other day about, you know, some weird Nike Air going, like, original price like $90, $110. They're now worth like sort of $6,000 or something insane like that. But if you've got a group for those, selling, you know, buying and selling those, and you're the admin over the group and admin owner of the group, sorry, and you've got post approval on that group, as admin owner of the group does or can as one of the options, you're going to see every little gold mine that appears, if, you know, way before everyone, you know, all those 23,000 members. So you could like just cherry pick. You cherry pick exactly what you want to go in. It's similar in some of my groups as well. Where, I see some things which I know are like just a gold dust in this niche. I'll just pick them up straight away, and like, you can either just flip them or, you know, what you want to do with them. But just little options like that where you put it on, you just got to use it to your advantage. You know, that's all. So, yeah. Any others? And we talked about the pearl, the lady. There's a few now, but the lady that runs the she imports pearls from China, runs Facebook Lives into her group, and she is rolling in it. Absolutely rolling in it. She opens the pearls live on camera. It's like an addiction, like a gambling type thing where people are paying money up front. And she's like, okay, your number 5,024 on the live is now, it's your turn to have your pearls open. She opens the pearls live on camera. People lose their minds. Oh my God, it's purple. Give me a 2 more. And then she sells the pendants as well. And like, these things cost like $1 to import. She's selling them for like, what, $50 a time maybe? And then the pendants are $30 on top of that. So the upsell from $1 to $80, $90 per person on a live with hundreds of people in line watching them is like, that's really, you're talking retirement money after a few weeks of doing that. Yeah? So but just seeing people do that, it's just your imagination of like how you want to, you know, run these things. And I've seen people who have got, you know, multiple thousand members on Facebook pages going, okay, what's the next step of that? You know, and they've started funneling them into a group now. But people are moving away from pages into groups. And I mean, another way I look at mine is like a very interactive email list. And I think with email lists, I love emails, don't get me wrong, but with a group, it's completely genuine. You're 100% you. You can't be anyone else. Behind an email, you could send out 1,000 emails and no one would ever know. 10,000, 1,000,000 emails, no one will ever know who you are. But in a group, in that community, it's you. And I think that builds that trust incredibly quickly. And that is when it becomes a hell of a lot easier to actually sell to people, definitely. So yeah, get everyone out there should be having their own group, definitely.
That's really cool. And you've like, I did have questions written down.
Andy, sorry, Andy's just messaged me. Andy, I'll sort you out in a minute, mate. Yeah.
Okay. Andy did ask as well, what format is the training?
He's jumping in. He's being rude.
Hold on. My dog's going crazy. Let me just chuck her outside. Puppy, come on out. There we go.
And
sorry.
I probably aged like 10 years in the last month. It's a full solo effort. The whole thing it's aged me. So yeah, I'll get it in 1 minute, mate.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so we've gone across. Literally, you've probably covered everything. I guess. Sorry. You know, there's more niches out there than just internet marketing. You know, a lot of people, like, I have a internet marketing based group. It's mostly buyers and people who follow me and stuff like that, more than anything else. And then I have a load of local groups because, for people who don't know, I run a window cleaning business. So I have a few thousand in each of these Facebook groups which are into my local areas. And then, as you said before, the header image, you know, the pin post. And then when I, you know, post new stuff as well, obviously people will see that more because I'm the owner.
Yeah.
of those groups too. So those give me leads.
The announcements as well. Is it 50? You can have like 15 announcements in your groups now. I've been using those as well too.
Yeah.
You should be using this. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I haven't. See, I've still got stuff to do. This is why I'm interviewing you, because you're the expert. So despite the fact I've already gone through your product, I'm still learning stuff. Which is always good. Okay, perfect. You mentioned a little bit about niches and stuff. People always struggle to find a niche. Always, always, always.
Yes.
How can you
Yeah.
help them? I know you have something in your product.
Yes. There's 2 videos up front. I think the second module, I think there's 2 videos. I covered 2 different ways about finding your niche. And I was thinking, I was out driving before, and way think about what I want to do, and it could be something that will change your life, financially, but it's like it's worth spending time on to actually, think about what you enjoy. Is this something you will enjoy doing every day? And if there's only going to be 100 people in your group, you're obviously going to struggle to make money unless you're selling $1 million product every time. But you get the idea. You've got to enjoy it, but you've got to think, you've got to think past the enjoyment as well as, can I make money from this? And one of my main niches is something that I was doing every day, and thought, okay, not every day because my bloody hours were so long, but something I enjoyed doing and something I've picked up over the years. And just groups have now given me the opportunity to sort of make that a living out of it, pretty much, along with the internet as well. So, but yeah, niche selection in so many different ways. And again, you watch the videos in the training, but one of my favorite ways of like finding a niche would be, sorry, notifications on the phone. I use Amazon Kindle all the time. I go through Amazon, I see what's selling, I see the most popular books, and I just open up the books and look at the indexes. The indexes gives me ideas for sort of products as well as product structure as well. That's one thing. I just love going for Kindle. It's like you can get the first 4 or 5 pages for, is it 10% of the book? Something like, I'm not sure. I can't remember what it is, but there's just freebies right there for for the taking. You can see what's best selling, you see what's sold the most. So you see what that's one of the if you don't want to get into like going into Alexa and stuff like that, because I think a lot of people like you see services which you have to like again buy into to get the full information and stuff, and then people are just like turned off immediately by that. So again, I've tried to cover both sides of that and say, hey, this is one way of doing it. This is where all the traffic is, and this is another way of doing it where if you don't want to go and buy all these different services and join up to all these websites which you can analyze traffic, etc., here's a simpler way of doing that. And yeah, I think just keeping your eyes open as well. I mean, if you're gonna have if you're gonna set up like a local group right in your community, look at what people are doing in your local community. Look what's missing in your local community as well. That's one thing. I mean, there's a lady around here runs she hires out like kids parties, like wigwams and stuff like that, and she's got this huge thing and she runs it from a Facebook group, and it's just in this local area, and like she's booked out every weekend, 4 or 5 different items or block sets to different people every weekend. That's all from a Facebook group, and that's that zero barrier entry thing. Again, seeing like jobless people, there's nothing separating you from the millionaire when you start running a Facebook group at all. You know what I mean? So that's another reason why I love them. But yeah, I think definitely, the selecting a niche, find something you love, find something you enjoy, but think past that as well. I think, can this actually make me some money? But start thinking outside the box as well. I try and cover that as much in the training as I can. Yeah, so I've tried to cover the techie side of it, and I've tried to cover like the I can't be bothered watching that. I just want something that's really simple to start you going. And again, if this is just going to be your first group, there's nothing to stop you. I call them like sister groups. From that 30,000 members group, I've now got various other sort of more defined niches in there as well, which you just start funneling people left and right. You get more people you get more idea of what the definitive niches that they're really sort of interested in. And again, if you're going to sell digital products to them, you're going to sell physical products to them, you're going to drop ship items to them, it doesn't matter. You know, you just get the people that are interested into your groups, and then you can start funneling them out into different groups later. So I talk about all of this in the training, but I keep getting waffling because I'm so passionate about this. I could talk for days about it. So, but yeah, it's I think that covers that.
It's all right. It's
we lose
good.
everyone
It's
on the
good.
live.
It means I can just sit here and listen, which is much better than me trying to have to force blood out of a stone and try and get you to say something.
You
Like,
can tell.
you're giving
You can
away
tell I've
half
been
your
locked away
product.
in my office. You can tell I've been locked away in my office for like 6 weeks, not spoken to anyone, just creating this bloody thing. Like stir crazy.
Okay, right. Last question, because you've kind of touched on it a bit. But we've talked more about, the niches, the possibilities, and whatever else, and growing it to, 30,000 plus members, and whatever else, and the value within it. But we haven't touched
Yeah.
on as much, like a few different examples or a few different ways of actually making money from a Facebook group.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about that and just, kind of do internet marketing local again, and then a niche group?
I mean, we're both in local groups, and we're both in sort of IM type groups as well. And again, it's down to what people want to do with these things, and it's the community side of it. I mean, to me, like groups are replacing forums to a point, because they're so interactive, and you get to know the people that you're actually dealing with and talking to, and selling to or buying from. So that's there's local buy-sell groups, there's national-wide buy-sell groups, there's the types of drop shipping that we talked about before, where that the lady is doing the importing stuff from I think it's DHgate, like $100 for like 10,000 pearls or something insane. But yeah, she's doing that, and it's just having a community to sell to. That's all it is, and it doesn't matter if it's physical or it's digital. I've got my Fierce and Digital group, and that I can sell, digital items in there, and I've got some of my physical items groups and sell physical items in there and digital items in there. Again, there's no limit to it really, and I don't want to really put a cage around. If you just have this one group, that's going to be it. You can just start funneling people left, right, and center, testing the waters, because in some local, like if you're in like a physical group, the second you mention a digital product, you get scam, it's a scam, it's not physical, I can't touch it. So there's little things like that you got to be like, just test the waters with. Are people going to be receptive to selling like an ebook or a video training course? Or again, it's you get to learn your audience, you get to learn the people that you're dealing with. And again, I think once people see you, they see your face, they see your lives, they see that you're interacting with them like daily. That trust is built up incredibly quickly. And like, if you're going to sell shit, that's bones about it. If you're going to sell shit, they're going to call you out in your own group. It's up to you to get rid of them out of your group then, but you get the idea. There's nowhere to hide. I think that's what and obviously social media has like made it like that. There is nowhere to hide. Where a few years ago you could spam 1 million people on an email list and get 1,000 sales or something. They might never hear from you again. You've made your money and ran. But you get the idea. With groups, you're that community leader, and people know you, people trust you, and it makes it a hell of a lot easier to make money, definitely. But yeah, some. Did you want some niche ideas? Is that what your sort of niche ideas to make, or just different ways to monetize?
You can talk away. I think everybody so far is enjoying this. The comments are really good, and everybody just wants you to keep talking because you're giving away so much value.
The worst.
So feel free.
Listen, no, I'm just thinking like you've got the drop shipping into your groups. I've given an example of the lady that runs I've seen like the mum's baby clothes group, stuff like that. 5,000-6,000 members in a local area, and like just people just making pure money, reselling toys, just cleaning old toys and just reselling them. Gary Vee has been doing a it might be old now. I only saw one.
I've just brought some stuff to sell locally. Yeah? This was some charity shop. Okay. Sells for like 40 quid online. Yeah. Same with this one. So
it's to me that's like if you're short on cash, you should be doing that. It's like there's money everywhere. There's money absolutely everywhere. You just got to open your eyes to it. And like you say, you've walked into a charity shop. That's probably cost you what, £1.
This one was £2. The other one was like 50p.
£2, and you guaranteed what, 40, was it?
Yeah, 40 for this one.
Yeah. I
Just
mean, I sort of collect games, like computer games. I have no time to play them anymore, and I don't think I ever will again. It's not going to stop me collecting them, but so some of the sort of markets I move in gives me access to, finding gems, and I can, pay $1 for a game and knowing I can get 120 for it. And it's just knowing your markets, and that's not even one of my sort of niches, but once you sort of start moving in those markets, and again, just that $1, just having that knowledge, and people start respecting you for having that knowledge. People come to you, hey, can you get me this? Can you get me that? And it's just things just start growing very, very quickly. And another thing I'll say is, being that sort of community leader, I'll shut up in a minute, but being that community leader will open so many doors to you, local businesses, and, so I sort of do a little bit on the side of like sort of Facebook ads and things like that. And just like meeting so many people, and then just sort of mentioning, oh, by the way, I have, this group of 30,000 members. Would you like to advertise? Would you like to do this? Would you like to do that? I can give you a Facebook announcement if you give me sort of 50% off today or anything like that. And, it opens so many doors. And I think starting your own group, especially if you've never done anything online before, is the perfect sort of entry point. Again, that zero barrier entry, but even if you're shy, or you don't want to get on cameras to create a video product or anything like that, you're that side of IM, the sort of creating a community group is like a very, very cool way to start that. Yeah.
really
Is
cool.
that enough?
Really cool. Yeah, that's good.
Before I
Gareth
give
Danes
everyone
just commented.
an excuse not to buy it.
Gareth Danes just commented, because we spoke about his Facebook group earlier. For anybody who wants to check it out, actually, it's called Niche. Is it Niche Affiliate Empires? Gareth, if you drop a link in the comment to that.
Yeah. Highly recommended. Yeah, just to see someone that's built and just grown, like its explosion of like people, and like just watching what Gareth's doing is like, he's just hit the nail right on the head. And again, just you know that it's his group. There's no bones about anyone else being like trying to step on his toes in there. It is Gareth's group, and the interviews he runs, the content, the value he gives to the people in the group. And one of the things, say if you're going to start like a physical items group, just one of the ways, just share knowledge, just share YouTube videos. Like, again, physical or digital, just a little nudge saying, hey, I'm still here, I'm still in charge, I'm helping you guys out. And there's a lot of psychology plays into it as well, I found, where people will start especially once it starts getting bigger, people start trying to step on your toes, and it's just about maneuvering yourself around those people without upsetting them, because if you kick them out, your name's mud again. So you got to just be very, it's like if someone starts spamming the group, I always I'll boot them out, because it goes against my rules. Out they go, and I'll put a post in the group, and I'll say, hey people, just a quick reminder of the group rules. Just want everyone to, I always say, I know 99.9% of it doesn't apply to you guys, but I've just kicked and blocked one spammer, just to save you time, keep your timelines, as clean as possible. It's just little things like that. It's a nudge, it's a reminder that you're in charge and you're looking after people. And some of the feedback I get is just amazing. I love this group. I actually love what you do. I love the way you look after us, and I love the way that you keep it as clean as possible. And I am incredibly, incredibly strict in the groups as well. I don't know if this would apply to across the board, but I have very strict rules, and if you go against them, then you're out. I've got 5,000 blocked people in my biggest for a reason. I'm hated, but I have rules, and you stick to them. It's as simple as that. If you spam, you're out. If you abuse, you're out. I have a zero political platforming, zero religious platforming, absolutely anything like that. I say there are groups out there if you want to go and do that in those groups, but this group is not that place. And I very stick to that, like to a T. The second anyone steps out of line, they're out. And people love you for it, because people want, it's like a safe space to a point. People know they can go in that group and not deal with the standard bullshit that they have to deal with in other groups, where there's no rules in the groups, are free for all, and assholes come in and just will abuse anyone and everyone in a group for no reason whatsoever. So as long as you're looking after people, again, that leader status, people will love you for it. And that's the position that I'm in at the moment. I look after my members, and it's the feedback I get is proves that. So yeah, value. I'm stopping there, mate.
I think so far everyone's really enjoying this live. I didn't expect you to give so much on the live at all. I thought it was going to be,
mate. It's knowledge and it's experience, and I'll be brutally honest. Making money from this is great. I love that side of it, but some of the testimonials I've got recently, for instance, Social Profits 2, I had a few beta users that I've let in, and their testimonials are all over the sales page, and it's just wow, people absolutely fell in love with it, and someone said your middle name's over delivery, and people just fell in love with it and absolutely loved it, and it's heartwarming because I'm not whinging about it. I've spent a lot of time doing this, a lot of late nights, sacrificed quite a lot to get this together and get this out there, and just seeing that feedback come in has been a real heartwarmer. There's been a few moments where I've just thought, nah, paper up in the air, walk away, but it's the feedback has been amazing. So everyone out there who's giving me feedback, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
That's really
anyone
cool.
that does buy in, I hope you enjoy it. So yeah.
That's really cool. So when does this launch?
To be honest, I'll be brutally honest with you, because anyone that knows me, anyone that's in my group knows that I just I shoot from the hip and I tell it like it is, and it's I would personally describe it as a high ticket broken down into the front product, which is it 30 videos, 32 videos at the front?
You've shot hundreds of videos.
And then
hundreds of them.
But then some of the upgrades, I mean, there is upgrades in there, and it is a meaty funnel, I'll admit that, and I was expecting some pushback on that. The 30 videos up front is more than enough to get anyone going. It covers so much, but the upgrades cover the more advanced where some of the more advanced sort of techniques of getting more people into groups and just expansion. The way we've expanded into Instagram and various other things. So I think there's another 30 videos across the upsells. But I had to draw a line somewhere. I thought, okay, this is enough for people to get going and touch on the advanced stuff. And then just, okay, these are the more advanced, and so break that down a bit further. So, but just value packed, and I'd happily call it a high ticket, if it was all lumped in one, definitely.
I'd agree. Whew. I agree completely.
Taking it off me, mate. It's like I said, I feel I've aged a year, 10 years this last month. So, but yeah, I think it needed to happen because Facebook has changed. I think the second video in the training is called Facebook You Changed, and I think this last 12 months, again, Facebook really started pushing groups and sort of realizing how big they were, they could get. The training had to be put together, sort of thing, to sort of keep everything up to date. And you could still go back to the first one; it'd still be valid, but there's changes, and you've got to you stay stagnant and you get left behind, don't you? So, and that's why I say I've seen so many Facebook, larger Facebook groups. Like I said, the largest I know of was 90,000 members. Where, from what I can tell, so let me turn my PC down. From what I can tell, it just got too difficult to get your voice heard in the group. So, there's various ways that I talk about which will keep your voice heard, let's say, and keep people listening to you.
That's cool. Andy's just put a comment about 32 videos. He's used profanity again, but that's a lot of videos. But I wanted to kind of because I've gone through it. So I wanted to kind of mention that they are broken down into parts. They're not all hour-long videos. They're shorter. This is what we're going to talk about. This is what it is. Yep. Done. Now move on to the next one.
Yeah.
So if there's something you don't understand or something you don't get, you can always go back and find that specific video, rather than, I know some people do training and it's like a 3-hour-long webinar and they don't say where you have to sit there for the full 3 hours and that's it. This is all broken down into bits.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you could get to train module 4 and you could never go back to it again. you could like you set your group up and you might know exactly where you want to go and you're comfortable doing that, you know, and that's what might all you need to take away from that train. That's might all you need. But like you said, you know, there's a lot more advanced stuff in there, and yeah, I mean, you can have lifetime access to anyone that sort of buys into it. So come back to it whenever you want, and it's there for the taking, really. It's absolutely there for the taking. I just think Facebook groups are gold mines, absolute gold mines. Like I say, just a little bit of imagination, a little bit of, you know, how can I, you know, provide a service to the local area? You know, could I, you know, I mean, how many niches are there? You know, tens of thousands of niches. I mean, it's just, you know, the sky's the limit. The sky's absolutely limitless. And like I say, you just got to use your imagination a bit. Okay, how can I good money?
Just
it's not that difficult. Not that difficult.
very true, very true. We just had another question come in, asking if there's like a support group and stuff. I know one of your upsells was kind of private mentoring type stuff, or group mentoring.
Yeah, I'm in my Fearsome Digital group like daily, pretty much every day. So and that's I mentioned that on the sales page, and I mentioned that in the delivery area as well. And anyone wants to come and join, they can, because you know I don't charge for being part of that group, but I give away quite a lot of content in there for free. And anyone that's in there, you know, sort of knows me and knows that if I find a tip or a trick that's changed, I just create a video, throw it up there straight away, and if it helps people, it helps people. So yeah, it's a good group. It's a good group of people.
That's cool. That's cool.
Are you a member?
We'll leave a link below this video once it's finished, and put that in as well. So there should be a link.
I'm in there pretty much daily. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. I think we've about waffled on for long enough now. We're at like 40 minutes or something. Does anybody else is there anything we've missed, David? Or do you think we've covered everything?
How you got? Can I have a recording of this? Because I'm going to sell this later.
If anybody has any more questions, I just wanted to show one strategy I've been using to grow my internet marketing Facebook group. And
let me just grab my power lead, mate. I'm just down to 5%. I just don't want my phone to go off. 1 second.
Lovely technology. Right, while he's getting his power cord, I'm going to show you something quickly on my phone. It might be in reverse. If it is, then I'll explain it as we go. So it kind of makes sense. But because I'm on the iPad, I can't like show you on the computer, if that makes sense. If anybody has any questions before we wrap up this live, please do leave a comment below, and then we'll go through them. You know, just before we finish. I believe David's product, your product, you can carry on plugging in, launches in 26 hours and 17 minutes, something like that, or 25 hours maybe. So the quick strategy, right? If you guys, after this Facebook Live is finished, as an example, if you go, can you see my phone? There we go. If you go to my profile, it's probably all in reverse. It depends what device you're using and whatever else. But if you go to my profile, then you can actually set what's called a featured image. So if I'm trying to do this backwards now, if I scroll down, then you can see that this is my featured image, which says, want to get massive results online, click here. Now, depending on what device you're using this on, depends on how this works. But if I click on it and then open up the message that comes underneath, so that's the text, and then in here, in this text, it says your next step is to join the free group. There. So if I click on that, then that'll automatically take me, this is awful, that'll automatically take me across to my Facebook group, where then people can join. So I've just clicked on the link, and then people can join that. And that means that when people are checking out my Facebook profile, so if I'm, you know, engaging in groups, you know, in the internet marketing space and whatever else, providing value, people will check out my profile, they'll send me a friend request or whatever, but then also it'll hit them straight away with this featured image. If they click on it, then obviously they'll go through, and that's what keeping my group growing by a few a week at the moment, because it's only small. But I've only recently started setting it up and bumping it and whatever else, and using some of the strategies David's been teaching to grow it a little bit better as well as keep the value in the group and whatever else. But just a quick tip for you, if you like, is that you can set a featured image and use it to grow your niche group. You know, and if you're connecting with people with getting friend requests and whatever else all coming to your profile, then obviously you can use that image to then get more people into your group without, you know, having to message everybody or, you know, continually post. It's just there all the time to keep it growing. Okay.
Yeah.
Gareth has asked, what's the product called? It's Instant Social Profits
Instant,
2. Is that right?
2.0, yeah.
Yeah, 2.0.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. I do actually have a bonus package together for this. Because obviously if you purchase from my affiliate link, I want to say thank you. So what I'll do is leave a comment underneath. At the moment it's an opt-in box because this doesn't open until tomorrow. But if you do pick it up from my link, thank you very much. Hope you know, like the bonuses that I put together to try and, you know, they're not PLR crappy shit that people seem to put on. $50 million of bonuses if you buy through my link, which is PLR crap that they've picked up and it's rubbish. So these are actually related to the product as well.
Cool.
I think that's everything. I think we've gone through all the questions. If we missed your questions, let us know. But I do hope you enjoyed this live. Thank you very much for joining me, David. Much appreciated.
Pleasure, mate. Absolute pleasure.
I think it's gone well.
Good to finally meet you. We've communicated enough about face to face for a long time, haven't we? So it's good to finally face to face. Yeah.
It's good to talk.
Sorry about not having the rock as well.
Perfect. Right, I'm going to end this live here. Thank you very much again, and thank you for everybody who's joined. Probably goes live in about 24 hours.
Thanks,
I will leave the link below to pick this up as well. Okay. Awesome. That's it. Goodbye.
Thanks, mate. See you guys.
Bye bye.